Jesus cleanses a leper in today's gospel lesson. The leper knew that Jesus could heal him. Do you think he could keep his healing a secret? The Holy Gospel according to Luke, the 5th chapter. Once, when Jesus was in one of the cities, a man covered with a skin disease was there. When he saw Jesus, he bowed with his face to the ground and begged him, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." Then Jesus stretched out his hand, touched him, and said, "I am willing, be made clean." Immediately the skin disease left him, and he ordered him to tell no one, but go show yourself to the priest, and as Moses commanded, make an offering for your cleansing as a testimony to them. But now, more than ever, the word about Jesus spread abroad. Many crowds were gathering to hear him and to be cured of their diseases. Meanwhile, he would slip away to deserted places and pray. The gospel of the Lord. If you think Jesus touched him to heal his skin, you've missed the best part of this miracle. Jesus could have easily healed this man from a mile away with just a word. Instead, Jesus chose to do something dangerous, to really look at this man, to be with him, to know him, to touch him. To the crowd, this man is not just sick, he is a monster. I mean, midnight monster movie kind of monster, flesh falling off the bone, the smell of death clinging to his clothes. He has not felt the warmth of a human hand in a decade. Let that sink in. 10 years without a touch. 10 years without a hug. 10 years of watching his own children run away from him in terror because Daddy is dangerous. And this man legally had to keep yelling, "Unclean, unclean," wherever he went. He yelled it so much his voice was broken. It was his obligation to keep people away from him by warning them of his presence. Unclean, unclean. This man had forgotten what love felt like. He was an expert in rejection. So when this man throws himself at Jesus' feet with his face buried in the dust, too afraid to look up, he's expecting stones and spit. He quietly says, "Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean." He was sure that he was not worth anything. The crowd pulled back in disgust as if something filthy had been thrown at them. You can almost hear the short, sudden intake of breath, the gasping. Mothers yanking their children back, men grabbing rocks. To them, this is toxic waste. You don't touch it, you don't get near it, you burn it, you eliminate it. But Jesus, notice his reaction. Jesus does not step back, he steps in. He does not cover his nose at the stench. He takes a deep breath. He reaches out a hand, not a magic wand, not prosthetics, but a bare human hand. And he presses his hand firmly on the rotting open sores of this man's shoulder. The crowd stopped breathing, not sure of what they were seeing. Technically, this rabbi Jesus had just broken the law. He'd made himself unclean. That was technically, religiously, personally, this Nazarene just committed himself to living with the disease of leprosy by reaching out and touching the leper. And the leper, he started weeping before the healing even began. Now, you can wonder why Jesus touched him before he healed him. Maybe Jesus knew the isolation hurt more than the infection. He knew this man did not need just his skin fixed, he needed his heart restored. This man needed to know that he was not trash. So Jesus touched him to say, "You are worth holding. You are worth touching." Now, the shocking nature of Jesus' miracle is, of course, that he healed the man, but the other shock is that he touched the leper without becoming contaminated. Perhaps Jesus' touch symbolizes that Jesus identifies with sinners to secure their salvation. He takes our disease and we exchange it for his holiness. The cleansing he provides runs deeper than the skin's surface. It cleanses the body and the heart and the soul. Leprosy is contagious. You touch death, you die. But Jesus flipped everything upside down. If Jesus was any kind of man, he was an upside down man. Jesus touched the rot, and the rot turned into new skin. Does that describe you? Is that you Jesus is reaching out to touch? Maybe you feel like a spiritual leper, carrying secrets that make you feel dirty and unclean. Maybe you think if God really saw who I am, God would turn away in disgust. Look at the outstretched hand of Jesus again. No gloves, no mask, no safe distance. Jesus is the only one who's not afraid of your mess, the only one willing to get his hands dirty to make you clean. Some people will say, clean yourself up, then you can come to God. Jesus says, I'm coming in the dirt to touch you, and my touch is what makes you clean. You can't get clean without me, Jesus says. Let me touch you. If the one who knows your sickness best is not stepping back, then why are you? You're not too far gone. You are just within his reach. Or are you going to believe the crowd that says you are toxic, or believe the God who says you are worth holding? Far from being merely a man with an awful skin condition that we don't have to worry about thanks to modern medicine, this leper is a mirror of our own plight. The leper reminds us that we too must cry out to Jesus for cleansing from sin's defilement and the stench of death. The good news of the gospel is that what Jesus said to the leper, he says to everyone who comes to him in faith, I will heal you. Be made clean. And if you come to him like this leper did, he will touch you, heal you, show you compassion, restore you back to life. Let's conclude this sermon in a different manner than usual. I'd like to ask you some questions and give you a little time with each question. Let it stew a little bit to think about Jesus and this leper. Y'all ready? You want to try that today? Question 1. Think about this. How have you been a leper? Or how are you a leper? Let's think about that. How have you been a leper? How are you a leper? Second question. Can you experience, or even do you want to experience, Jesus stretching out his hand and offering healing? Would you like to experience that? Or have you been too afraid or even too proud to ask for his help? Let's think about that. Will you experience Jesus stretching out his hand to heal you, or are you too afraid or too proud to allow that to happen? Can you accept this outrageous, extravagant mercy of Jesus, who offers healing with no condition? Can you accept that grace? Last question. To whom do you need to reach out and offer a healing touch?